was gonna watch this dude, Good Enough. I feel like this dude is pretty knowledgeable, and he knows science. I wanna learn about science. Terrifying thing in the universe. I wanna learn about that.
Let's start with the scary and slowly work our way towards the most terrifying ones on the list. Number 10, space junk. As it turns out, our planet is not the only thing we treat like a giant trash can, since space is slowly becoming a giant landfill as well. There are currently millions of pieces of man-made junk in Earth's orbit, with over 30,000 of them being over 10 centimeters long, or around 4 inches.
How did so many of them go there? How is there so many garbage in the space now? Who dumped them there? Wait.
Now, the reason why this is so scary is that the number of junk is only growing.
Yeah,
but this really shouldn't worry you, since I'm sure we'll eventually get around to cleaning it, which usually only happens when it becomes a big enough problem that our government is forced to do something about it.
Industrialism? But don't we have ocean to dump garbage into? I thought that's how we do it in the evil way. We dump it in the ocean. It's not okay, but we do it there. Why do we dump it in the space now?
You see, the growing amounts of space junk are becoming a major problem for space exploration and travel, and NASA has already—
Yo, imagine one day, you fly to the Mars. All you see is used dog cage floating in the space, and a diaper, and a rotten potato, and you'll be like, what the fuck? Why did I leave Earth? It's exactly the same.
We had to course correct 32 times since 1999 to avoid satellites and space debris. Now, you're probably thinking, this is an issue that you will never have to worry about, since you never leave the house, let alone plan on traveling to space.
No, I think space travel is really close now. I think it will be happening soon. Space traveling, space smog.
Space.
Is more evil?
As it turns out, the space debris might just come to you. There have been many reports of large pieces of metal, spaceships, and satellites landing on people's property and homes. But I'm sure the majority of the pieces go unreported since they most likely land in the ocean, where they blend in with—
so they go back to the ocean. What the fuck? It's like they know where their home is. They know where to go already. What? How? The bald guy look like you, Niner? Shut the fuck up. I have hair. Do you have hair? I have hair.
With the rest of the trash. Number 9, cosmic voids. As we leave Earth's orbit and begin to look further out into the universe, we quickly begin to discover all sorts of terrifying things. But before we get to those, I want to focus on nothing.
Nothing.
I literally mean nothing. You see, there are vast spaces in the universe that don't contain anything at all. No planets, no stars, no moons, no McDonald's, no asteroids, nothing.
That's scary.
These empty spaces are known—
That's scary. That remind me of those anime scenario. Be like they enter a zone and there is nothing, and they have to evade it. Always the anime character, they always enter this zone where it's empty, and that's very, very, very scary to me. That's what space is. But space has planets and stars. It has something, right?
As cosmic voids, and in some cases they can be hundreds of millions of light years in diameter. This would create a long and lonely space trip for anything that decides to journey across them. Unless, of course, you were blessed with being an introvert, since we are completely immune to this weakness.
I can't.
Now, I know these large numbers are very hard to grasp, so let me just show you what this all looks like.
Chad, have anybody ever asked you, what will you do if you are the only one left on Earth? Have you ever been asked like that? What did you say? Whenever people ask me things like that, I was like, I don't think I can last long. But a couple days ago, somebody told me if they're the only human lasting on Earth, they will be completely fine and happy because they have like hundreds years of movies they can watch and video game and contents they can browsing. And I was like, what the fuck? But there is no other people for you to interact. How can you be okay? And they'd be like, I don't need people. I was like, what the fuck? I can't. I need people. I love people.
Here's an illustration of the Virgo supercluster, which contains around 100,000 galaxies, including our home, the Milky Way. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the areas here. These are cosmic voids. This particular one here is called Boötes Void, and is one of the largest voids in the known universe, spanning around 330 million light years wide. For perspective, the entire Milky Way galaxy, which
Why is it so empty? That one looks so empty.
Which is home to at least 100 billion planets, is 100,000 light years wide. Number 8, dead galaxies. Dead galaxies are galaxies that have run out of cold hydrogen gas, which is necessary to fuel stars and create new ones.
Hi!
These dead galaxies will be the first to become completely dark and lifeless, leaving behind
is that Tangia? Go away!
Cold and lonely cemetery.
Glacier.
But for now, these galaxies appear red as they burn through their last remaining energy that they will ever have. Now let's get to the terrifying part. All galaxies, including our own, will eventually run out of energy, and it's
I heard about this too, yes. Sun will die, right? The sun will run out of energy one day.
hypothesized that the entire universe eventually will as well. A stage that is referred to as the Dark Era, and it's speculated to be the final state of the universe, leaving behind a cold and dark universe where light and energy cease to exist. Number 7. Planets. NASA estimates that there are at least 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and over 6 sextillion planets in the observable universe. That's 21 zeros, by the way. Not that it even matters, since none of us could even universe. That's 21 zeros.
Oh my god, there's so many zero. I can only count to 6. That's too much. That's too much zero.
Not that it even matters, since none of us could even come close to comprehending that. So instead, people try to visualize this by saying that there are more planets in the known universe than grains of sand on Earth. And for those of you that have never been to the beach, take it from someone who has. We still
Haha, right. Yeah, I'm funny. Yeah. I can count. I cannot count to 21. Yeah, I can only count to 6.
Can't comprehend this number either. Now, we don't have to look far to find some truly terrifying planets, since we have a few of them here in our own solar system. But let's just take a look at the scariest one, Jupiter. This planet is an absolute nightmare, and is scary enough to just look at. Jupiter's a giant gas.
I mean, dude, you draw it really scary. Dude, I don't think it's scary to look at. You draw it like a fucking Halloween pumpkin. That's very scary.
An absolute nightmare, and is scary enough to just look at. Jupiter's a giant gas planet that is 1,300 times larger than Earth, and is covered in violent storms, as I'm sure you already know.
Coochie Mouse, I have to tell you, right, I literally watched the movie. Cannot go into detail of the movie, but it has a part that's looking like this face. Wait, you can only count to 6, but now 9 for Niner. But if you turn the 6, upside down, then it's 9. That's the trick.
And is scary enough to just look at. Jupiter's a giant gas planet that is 1,300 times larger than Earth, and is covered in violent storms, as I'm sure you already know. But really quickly, here are just a few of the ways Jupiter would absolutely mop the floor with you. Radiation exposure, dead. Atmospheric pressure, dead. 400 plus mile per hour winds, dead. Struck by lightning, dead. You overheat, dead. You freeze, dead. You decide.
Maybe it's not Jupiter too strong, it's we are too weak. Why are we so weak?
To breathe, dead.
If we are like a rock, we can live on the Jupiter, okay? We don't need hydration, we don't need food, we have strong body like a rock. Then yeah, Jupiter is easy.
Dead. But if Jupiter's not scary enough, our galaxy has many other horrific planets to choose from, like planets that constantly rain molten iron or molten glass, planets that are entirely covered in ice, planets that are entirely covered in lava, planets that are entirely covered in water, planets that are just completely dark.
Wait, if they're a planet covered in water, why don't we go suck water from that planet? And we always be like, we don't have enough water. You know what I mean? Why can't we suck water there?
Planets with giant hurricanes the size of Earth. Nope, that's just Jupiter again. I told you that place sucks. Number 6. Aliens. Ever since we were young, Hollywood has conditioned us to be scared of aliens, so it's no surprise that this one would end up on the list. Movies like Aliens, Signs, Predator, Cloverfield, The Thing, and of course The GOAT, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, all made aliens incredibly violent and terrifying. And when Hollywood finally attempted to create a friendly and relatable alien, all they got right was his body type. And it
But what if they're cute and furry? What if they're the cat girls, the alien?
definitely worked. Scientists say that it's only a matter of time until we find the existence of aliens. But here's the thing, right? An alien or an extraterrestrial being is simply just something that is living that didn't originate on Earth. So this could be something as small as bacteria, but if we're lucky, it could be a fish or mammal-like creature. But of course, this could be something infinitely more terrifying. And that's what makes this one so scary. We really don't know what's out there. Now, thankfully, we all know that first impressions are...
Also, how do we define it as a creature? You know, like the boundary of we defining this thing is alive is very limited. I feel like our knowledge is maybe it's not perfect yet.
Are everything. So I'm hopeful that aliens will just take a quick look at Earth's orbit and decide not to visit, since we're obviously very dirty. Number 5. Gamma ray bursts. Gamma ray bursts are the most powerful explosions in the known universe, releasing more energy in a second than the sun would in a billion years. This can occur a few different ways. Either when a star goes supernova, when two neutron stars collide and form a black hole, or when a black hole swallows a neutron star.
A Kirby black hole. Well, just based on what we see, the rock on Mars could be alive. Yeah, exactly. We do not know this definition of alive or creature, you know? Like there are so much more possibilities.
Massive bursts of energy are 1,000,000 trillion times brighter than the sun and could last anywhere from 10 milliseconds to several hours. Now here's what makes them so scary. The light produced can't be seen by the naked eye. So if Earth were to be hit by one of these powerful gamma ray bursts, we would never see it coming.
But will this ray burn us like slowly, or they will melt us like instantly? I'm okay if I got melt instantly, but if I'm getting radiated every day, I will go crazy.
And depending on how close the...
No, not nice, but compared to, you know, burning you slowly, instantly is better than slowly.
Source of the gamma ray burst is, it would determine if life on Earth would survive. At a distance of 6,000 light years, it would cause mass extinction due to the deadly amounts of radiation. But if the gamma ray burst occurred further away but still managed to get a direct hit on us, it could still be catastrophic, since it would heavily damage all of our satellites and technology, shutting down the Wi-Fi. Now, thankfully, Earth is not really in danger of such an event, since our sun is far too small to produce this type of explosion. Instead, our sun will just grow so large that it slowly swallows the entire planet. Number 4. Colliding galaxies. With billions of galaxies traveling through the universe,
He just lightly described something really horrible. The sun will just slowly consume us? How is that better than being melted in seconds? No Wi-Fi. Dude, you're gone. Like, why you still care about Wi-Fi? You are like gone. You become dust.
Bump into one another. As a matter of fact, our galaxy will be one of them. The Milky Way is scheduled to crash into our neighboring galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy. But that collision won't be for another 4 to 5 billion years. Hopefully long after humans have left Earth and populated other planets. But let's talk about what makes colliding galaxies so scary. As the two galaxies begin to get close to one another, their gravitational pull will bring them together. Now, surprisingly, planets crashing into one another would be extremely rare, since galaxies are mostly empty space. But what would happen is planets would be rearranged and shuffled around, knocking them away from their current solar systems and creating new ones. So any planet with life on it might be stuck with a new neighbor.
Oh, that's beautiful, and that's very exciting, actually. So that happen, we will kill each other to extinction before that. Oh, come on, we have some nice human. We do, right? I believe so. As long as you do not go on Twitter. Other than human from Twitter, we are all pretty nice. They told me read about the sun expanding. I couldn't sleep because of afraid of dying. Wing, aren't you glad that you are no longer little? You are no longer 8-year-old. You can be brave now.
Here are a few galaxies that are currently merging as we speak. Number 3. Supernovas. Supernovas are the largest explosions that humans have ever seen. They can outshine their entire galaxy for a few days or even months, and can be seen across the universe.
Wow.
A supernova can occur a couple of different ways. The first one is when a massive star runs out of nuclear fuel and collapses, causing it to go supernova. The second is when a white dwarf star gains enough mass by siphoning it from another nearby star, causing it to collapse and explode. But
it's like a gigantic bomb. Nice human aren't in charge of anything. telling you, vote Niner 2030, okay? I will give you freedom and I will give you peace and I will give everybody a cat girl if I can.
But let's talk about what makes supernovas so scary. When a star goes supernova, it obliterates everything in its path and is powerful enough to destroy
Maybe if I'm not giving you a cat girl, I'm giving you a cat.
all life on any planet within 30 to 50 light years. For perspective, our sun is only about 4.2 light hours away from our furthest planet, Neptune. Even though supernovas are one of the most deadly events in the known universe, easily obliterating every living thing in their way, at least they make great screensavers. Number 2, black holes. Black holes are easily one of the most terrifying things in the known universe. It's mostly due to the fact that we don't fully understand how they work. But here's what we do know. There are 2 different types. The first one is called a stellar mass black hole and is roughly 3 to 1,000 times the mass of our sun. These are created when a large star goes supernova and collapses in on itself, creating a black hole. The second type is a supermassive black hole and can be millions to billions of times the mass of our sun. Also, we have no idea how these black holes are formed. And when I say we, I mean I couldn't find an answer using Google, got frustrated, and just came to the conclusion that the answer simply doesn't exist. But the most common theory I kept seeing is that a black hole must have swallowed another black hole, making it grow much larger. If there's anything I have learned while scripting this video, it's that astronomers and astrophysicists never give a simple answer to anything, so them resorting to the classic answer of, you eat, you grow, is quite comical.
True. That's how we work too, okay? We eat, we get bigger. That makes sense to me. That's simple English.
That is not always the case. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what makes black holes so terrifying. Well, for starters, one of these supermassive black holes sits right at the center of our galaxy, gobbling up pieces of the Milky Way as we speak. Another reason why they're so creepy is simply for the fact that they are completely invisible. As I'm sure you know, this is because black holes have a force of gravity so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. So the only way we can see where they are in the universe is by seeing how they interact with their surroundings. But the biggest reason why black holes are so high on the list is simply because we don't know what would happen if you were to enter one. Are they just wormholes? Or would you just get stretched out like a giant piece of spaghetti? I'm not kidding, that's the most agreed upon theory. They call it spaghettification. Or could it be a portal to an alternate dimension? We really don't know. Either way, all of these are absolutely terrifying. Number 1, the size of the universe. Hands down, the most terrifying thing about the universe is its size. Just allow me to present my case. Does this image scare you? What about now? Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me show you a few more illustrations before I rest my case. For simplicity's sake, let's start at ground level. This is you. You're probably in your room.
Why is my leg so buff?
Your room is in your home.
Okay.
Your home is here on Earth. Earth's home is in our solar system, which has 8 planets. Our solar system is part of the solar interstellar neighborhood, which is part of the Milky Way galaxy, also home to at least 100 billion other planets. The Milky Way galaxy is part of the local galactic group, which is home to 3 other galaxies. The 3 galaxies are all inside of the Virgo supercluster, which has hundreds of galaxies and galaxy.
Dude, I have to be real, I'm not even worried at all. I don't even care who is living next door. Why do I care about millions of galaxies outside of my galaxy? I don't even know. Is my neighbor like a male or female? I have no idea.
Clusters. The Virgo supercluster is part of the local superclusters. The local superclusters sit right at the center of the entire observable universe, which spans 93 billion light years wide. But it doesn't end there. This is just what we can see with the current technology we have, and we have no idea how much larger the universe is or if there's even an end to it. But of course, this doesn't stop us from speculating on its size or what could potentially be out there. Are there alien civilizations far more advanced than ours? Or alternate realities with infinite possibilities? Or maybe we're all just plugged into a computer, a simulation? After all, would this not be the best time in our known history to simulate? Or maybe Earth is flat and just like birds, space is not real, so none of this really matters. I guess in the end, it turns out that the scariest thing about the universe is not really up in space, but instead lives here inside of our imaginations.
Yeah, just dude, it's so easy. Just turn your brain off. Show me the K-cup aliens. Stop being horny. You know, you gotta control your reproduction instinct when you come to this kind of space exploration. Come on, man. Let's be friends first, okay? Before checking out their cake. Oh, I like this dude. I've been subscribed to him.